My name is Christene Marie, and I am your host. It's so funny. I've started the show the last couple of days in a very strange way. So here we are. I am so happy to be with you all today. Y'all, I feel really energized. I feel excited. It's Thursday morning, January 15th. We're on lesson 15 of A Course in Miracles. I woke up at 4:30 this morning. Yesterday, I did not wake up. I woke up at 4:30, but I didn't stay awake. The morning before, I woke up at 4 and stayed up. And I'm grateful to be getting slowly back into my morning habits and my morning routine. This morning, my dad and I went on behalf of Hoffman Painting and Finishing, our family business. We went and did a breakfast and meet and greet at a local restoration company, and it was just so much fun. I love working with my dad. I think that's probably one of the greatest joys of doing the family business is getting to know him better, and getting to see under the lid, so to say, of how he leads and just how much he cares and the way that care manifests. We can say we care, but care can look a whole bunch of different ways. And so being a part of the family business has been such an honor. And this was fun this morning, waking up before the crack of dawn, Dad and I heading out and running and grabbing Panera and Dunkin' for the team and coffee, and then setting it up, and just standing in front of the room presenting of 103 years of legacy that's been built. So much of, why we're here. And so Course in Miracles this morning, we are going to be moving through lesson, and I'm going to be reading the previous three lessons, or I'm sorry, not three, just as a quick drip about what we're going to be. So number 1, nothing in this room means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything in this room all of the meaning that it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see in this room. Lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. Lesson 6, I am upset because I see something that is not there. Lesson 7, I see only the past. Lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Lesson 9, I see nothing as it is now. Lesson 10, my thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 11, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Lesson 12, I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Lesson 13, a meaningless world engenders fear. Lesson 14, God did not create a meaningless world. And on to lesson 15, my thoughts are images that I have made. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think you made them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is the function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing, it is image making. It takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. This introductory idea to the process of image making that you call seeing will not have much meaning to you. You will begin to understand it when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects that you see now. That is the beginning of real vision. You can be certain that real vision will come quickly when this has occurred. As we go along, you may have many light episodes. These may take many different forms, some of them unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. They are signs that you are opening your eyes at last. They will not persist because they merely symbolize true perception, and they are not related to knowledge. These exercises will not reveal knowledge. They prepare the way for today. Repeat yourself first, and there you see around you, using its name and learn it as you say, this blank is it I have made. So this steering wheel is an image that I have made. This phone is an image that I have made. It is not necessary to include a large number of specific subjects for the application of today's idea. It is necessary, however, to continue to look at each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Although you will obviously not be able the minutes that is recommended. Try to as possible. A minute, practice easy. Have more than 3 application periods unless you feel completely comfortable with it, and do not exceed 4. Applied as needed throughout the day. So about all of these pages leading up, these lessons build on each other. And so much of the time, it's actually dismantling what we are familiar with and dismantling what we do think we know, or in this case, what we think we see, for the purpose of illumination of the truth. So we've been talking around what we see is meaningless, and what we think about is meaningless, because ego is coming in the place of God. And ego is the lens through which we're viewing the world rather than looking at it through God's lens. And so first it was like, let's destruct and dismantle in order to then rebuild with the lens of God. And so it sounds like we're kind of going in the direction around seeing an image, and the way that we look at the world, we're actually applying our own image to what we kind of back up to applying God's vision for what we see today. I just want to repeat this section because I thought it was important. My thoughts are images that I have made. That's a lesson. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think you see them, and so you think, or you think you think them, so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. So like our vision is associated with our thoughts. And if our thoughts are meaningless, then it means that what we're seeing effectively is meaningless. And so the goal here, just a reminder, this is all so foreign to me still. You know, I went through this process last year, and frankly, I plan to continue to read A Course in Miracles moving forward throughout this year, and hopefully I'll just make this an annual thing. It's so important to recognize that my natural MO, my modus operandi, yours too, most likely, needs to be purified. It needs to go through. There's this concept of being reborn and born again, and going through this process of dying and rebirth. And in each time of those rebirths, we just get a little bit more clear. There's a concept also of, you know, when you go through the fire, dross melts away so that more gold can come. You know, there's all these little analogies around the process of dying and being reborn, of dross being burned off and then gold coming forth. And it's a hard thing because it's kind of like a stretching of the muscle. It's a working out of the mind. It's a working out of the sight, because we're not used to thinking or seeing this way. And so every single morning, this is our gym, you know, our gym to reframe and reorient the lens through which we view the world, because we get to choose the lens. And so much of our lens is attributed to subconscious past narratives that were given to us, past programs that we never chose with intention. And so in this kind of early stages of A Course in Miracles, you know, with the destruction, with the dismantling, it is coming some of these old programs that need to be undone. And so with that comes just this need and call for gentleness and patience with ourselves, because we are learning something brand new. At least for me, some of these are really foreign concepts. So before I conclude, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to some folks here in the chat. I'm live on a couple different streaming platforms, but Quiet 808, good to see you. Polo, Wanna Pole, thank you for joining. Elle Cummings, thank you for coming on here. Guys, thanks for coming on. I think that this is one of the most important things we can do each day. Just get aligned. How am I doing today? How am I feeling? What am I thinking about? How do I choose to view the world? And then making sure that that lens is in place as we move forward, because then we are in charge, not our subconscious, not the past, but we ourselves. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on here. If you made the car vision, why can I see it? I don't know what you mean by that. Brittany, thanks for coming on here. South Aussie. Oh, I'm sure my camera lens is blurry. I just saw you say this. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for coming on here today. You know, this is, again, a really good use of our time just to take a minute. Today's lesson, just a reminder before we jump off, my thoughts are images that I have made. And we're supposed to apply when we look at something, this whatever. So I'm sitting in my car. I've got my steering wheel right here. This steering wheel is an image I've made. And just looking at it for about 60 seconds and do this 3 times. So I'm going to go set my alarm for my day to go off 3 different times so I can do these practice periods. So best of luck to you and to me as we do this. I will see you tonight on The Knowing Show. I'll be going live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.